Hey everyone, in this tutorial we are going to learn how to model this facade. Now you can support the channel and download all the source files from the Patreon page. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. So without further ado, let's start. So I'll start by going to the perspective view, so double click to maximize the perspective view. And let's create a new layer and let's name it design. And let's create sublayer and a few more sublayers. So the first one I'm going to name it mass. And let's select it. So for the mass I'm going to use 3-point box, so we can came here and choose 3-point box. So let's start with a box with a length of maybe 25 meters, make it 30 by 26 or 20. And the height is going to be 3 floors. And the floor to floor height is going to be 4 meters. So the height is going to be 12 meters, so type 12. So this is for the first mass. And for the second mass, I'm going to, let's open the AutoC plane and hold Control Shift and select this face. And let's right click to bring the same command again. Let's create a 3-point box. Then it's going to be 16 meters, and the height is going to be also 3 floors from here to here, something like this. Let's disable the AutoC plane, select this box, and let's move it up by 1 floor, so type 4, and move it here maybe 4 meters too, and hold Control Shift and move this face by a value of maybe 1 meter, and hold Control Shift and move it here, select this face and move it by a value of 1.5 meters too. Now I want to create a copy of this one, so here choose copy and select it from this vertex to here. And move this up by a value of 4 meters to have something like this. I think I need to move this a little bit, so hold Control Shift to select this face and move it here by a value of 6 meters. Now hold Control Shift and move it inside by a value of maybe 1 meter too. No, make it more than 1 meter. So hold Control Shift, select it again and move it by a value of 1 meter again. So this cantilever is going to be around 2 meters. Now select this one, choose copy, choose vertical, and copy it here. Right click to release a command and hold Control Shift and move this maybe something like this by a value of 10 meters to have something like this. Not hold Control Shift, move it here by a value of 2 meters. Yeah, I think this looks a little bit better. Let's switch to the archaic mode maybe. We can maybe make some variation here to make the form a little bit more dynamic. Let's Control Z. Okay, so I'm going to hold Control Shift, select this one and move it by a value of 1 meter too. Hold Control Shift, move this by a value of 1 meter again. And I think for this one, we can hold Control Shift and move it inside by a value of 4 meters. Yeah, I think this mass looks okay. Okay, now let's select everything and choose all in union. So now we are done with the mass. Okay, now let's start modeling the floor. So I'm going to layers and let's name this layer floors, and let's also create another layer and let's name it curves. And I'm going to give it a red color and select this layer, select the mass, and let's use contour. So type contour, or you can find it here, which is this one, and let's create a contour in the Z direction with a spacing 4 meters, which is the floor to floor height. Let's enter, and let's go to the visibility and let's isolate. So we have our curves. Of course, for this one, there are some few curves that need adjustment, so we can select everything, type trim, select this one and this one, right click, and let's trim this inside curve, right click to finish the command, right click to bring the command again, select this curve and this curve, and let's trim this, right click to bring the command again, select these two curves, trim from here, right click to bring the command again, select this 3 curves, right click and select, Control Z. So okay, so I'm going to hold Shift, select all these curves and let's exclude them. Let's delete this one, select everything, press Control G to join. So okay, so there's a problem here, so I'm going to exclude this one too, delete this one, and select everything, press Ctrl J. So now this is closed curve. Make sure all of them are closed. So yeah, this is open. So select this one, and press Ctrl J. Join them. It's closed. Okay, yeah, perfect. Now all of them are closed. So for the floors, I'm going to give it some kind of gray color. Select this layer, select all these curves. Let's come here and create surface from planar curves. Hide the curves, select the surfaces, and let's extrude them by a value of, we are going to extrude them down, not up. So let's extrude them by a value of 0.3. This for the structure. It shows the mass from here, and you can hide from here too, by the way. Okay, now we have our floors. Now let's start designing our facade. So you can show the curves. Let's create a new layer and let's name it Facade 1. Let's create 3 sub layers on it. The first one I'm going to name it curves 2, but I'm going to give this one a blue color, and this one is going to be solid wall. This one window frame. And new layer, and let's name it window glass. I'm going to give this cyan color, and this one gray color, and this one, you know what, keep this one black. Okay, so I'm going to lock this layer, and let's lock the floor layer too, and this curves too. Let's lock everything. And I just want to do something in the settings, so we can type options and go to the view display and go to the shade mode and go to object. And here in the locked object appearance, we want it to appear solid. So I'm going to apply this setting to layer. As you can see now, if we lock the object from the layer, to look solid like this. This makes the workflow easier. So I'm going to select the curve layer for now, and I'm going to create the grid in which we are going to use to design our facade. So I'm going to draw a line here, and right click to bring the command again, and let's draw a line here, and type curve array, or array curve, and you can find it here, which is this one. So right click, select object array, which is this one, right click, select this one, and for the distance, let's make it maybe 2 meters. 2 meters looks, want it to be something larger, maybe 3 meters. Make it something divisible by 2, so 4 meters maybe. Okay, yeah, let's keep it 4 meters for now. And here, let's type array curve again, select array curve again, select this one, right click, select this one, and select 4 meters like this. Okay, yeah, now this looks okay. So now let's select all these curves and let's log them again. By the way, this face is the same size as this one, so when I design this one, I can't copy it here. But anyway, I'm going to draw a 3-point rectangle here, this point to this point, and let's open auto C plane, select this one, type offset. Let's offset by a value of maybe 0.5. No, make it 0.25, and let's create another offset, but by a value of 0.5, maybe 0.8, maybe 0.6. Yeah, let's select this one and let's scale it in one direction and make the width around 1 meter or 1.2. You know what? No, keep 1 meter. Okay, so now let's move this. Let's move these two curves here by a value of 0.5. Keep this as it is, or maybe create a copy and move it here by a value of 0.2. So I'm going to create now, let's select solid there, but first select this one, create a copy, move it in this direction, press tab to fix on this direction, press it here. So I'm going to create a loft between these curves. So select solid wall, type loft, set dot in this one, this one, this one, and this one, and right click. And if you want the design to be organic, we can keep it to normal, but I want it to be straight sections. Yeah, I want it to be something like this. Of course, if you want something a little bit curved, that have some curvature, you can keep it loose, normal, or whatever, but you know, this is what I want right now. Enter is okay. And I'm going to also create a loft between this one and this one. Have something close like this. So I select this whole surface and this one and press Ctrl J. It's going to be our module that we will use to create some variations later on. Now I want to create the window, so I'm going to offset this one by a value of 0.05, 0.08 maybe. Create a window frame. Select this one. By the way, let's place this in the layer, in the curves layer. Let's select the window frame, select this one, and let's create just a surface on planar curves and select this one and right click to the command again. But for this one, I'm going to place it in the window layer, and I think I might need to hide the mask for now. Select this one and extrude it by a value of 0.15, and select this one and extrude it by a value of 0.02. Switch to the ghost mode, select this, and let's move it, snap to the middle, press tab, fix to the midpoint here. And there we go, we have our windows that we're going to use. So select it. First, I'm going to select this one to close it from here. So I'm selecting this one and let's type cap. So now this is a closable surface. Select everything and let's define create block. So select the layer of facade 1 and came here, define block, snap to the middle point here, and let's name it F1 for facade 1. I'm going to close the auto C plane for now. Let's use a mask again. I'm going to repeat this along this facade. So I'm going to select it, choose linear array here up to number 4 from this point to this point. Of course, I'm going to do a lot of more variations later on, but first I want to copy it along the facade. So hold shift and select all of this again and right click. Oh no, so come here, choose linear array, set the number 4, right click. Okay, no, the number should be 3. And create a copy. Just close it again. 3, this point and this point. Hold, selected, hold Alt and copy here, rotate it, select it and move it something here maybe. For this one, I'm going to create just a solid one, but let's do it later on. Select this linear array. It's going to need around maybe 10, but then maybe 6. This point to this point. We can scale it in one direction, so I'm going to select everything. Instead of creating a unique one, I'm going to just scale in one direction. Create something like this. Hold shift, select all of this, choose copy and copy it here. Select it, hold Alt, select all of these three, hold Alt, create a copy here, locate it like this, and select this, move it, and move it something here. Choose array, linear array, right click, copy it, something like this. Oh yeah, this one is larger a little bit, so I'm going to select all this facade, scale in one direction, from this point to this point like this. We need to mirror all of this, so I'm going to, but you know what, this one I'm going to copy it after adding details, but you know what, let's just do it right away. So I'm going to select all of this, hold Control to deselect this, type mirror, let's snap here to the midpoint and create a mirror like this. Sorry, to be moved a little bit. So move it, type move, press that to pixel in this direction and move it like this. And select all of this facade, scale in one direction. Select all of these facades again, scale in one direction. I use right click to bring the same command again, switch to archaic mode. We need to create a solid wall here, so I'm going to select the solid wall layer, and let's create a 3-point box here. This point to this to have something like this. For the remaining facade, I'm going to make it a curtain wall. But first, we need to copy this part too. So I'm going to select this one, type mirror, check copy, yes, and snap here to the midpoint. And then I hold Control Shift, move, press tab to fix in this direction, and snap to this point. Yeah, now it looks good. Okay, so now let's come here and let's create a new layer and let's name it curtain wall. And let's create 2 sub layers on it. First one, let's name it mullions, and let's give it maybe a darker gray color. And second one, let's name it glass, and let's give it also a maybe a turquoise color. Okay, so select the mullion first. Oh, okay, no. Before anything, we will select the. Let's create another layer for curves. Let's name it CRV for curves. Let's give it maybe a purple color. Select it. Load this layer again, and let's lock this layer for this facade. And let's create a line here. So choose polyline, create a line here. Right click and create a line here. And just here, I'm going to adjust this and create a copy. So type array curve. Select object array. Right click, select the path and the distance for this one. Let's make it 1 meter. Yeah, to have something like this. Now right click. So I'm going to select the module layer and let's say snap here. Let's choose 3-point box. So for the module, let's make the width maybe 0.05. Make it something large, maybe 0.1, and the length also make it large to create some shading. Maybe 0.4, and the height make it the whole floor. Make the color black. You can hold Control and the right mouse button to zoom like this. So select this one, type move, and snap to the midpoint and move it here. And I'm going to make this a block in case we want to change the profile. So choose define block and came here to the midpoint and type M1 for mullion 1. And now let's create some transitions. Choose also 3-point box. Let's make it maybe 0.3. Okay, no, let's escape for now. So I'm going to create a copy from here to here. And let's create a 3-point box from this point to this point, and so let's make it 0.3 and the height 0.1, no 0.05, 0.08 maybe. Get a copy vertical, and get a copy maybe like 1 meter, -1. Select again the copy vertical from this line to here. Now let's create the glass. So select the glass layer, type loft from here to here. Right click again to bring the command icon, loft from here to here. Select this panel, hold shift, select both of them, and extrude them by a value of 0.02. Switch to the ghost view, select this one, hold shift, select this one too. Hold Control and right click to zoom and choose move. Snap to the midpoint, press tab and snap here to the middle too. So I'm going to hold shift and select all of this, choose copy, vertical. You know what? Select this one, hold shift, select this one, and this one. Switch to the wireframe, define them as a block, and let's name it B1. Switch to shaded mode, create this one, copy vertical from here, and another copy here. Double click, select this one, Control C, Control V, move vertical, move it down here. And for this one, I'm going to scale it like this. This for the base. By the way, there is part going to be glass and another part is going to be solid. It's going to be a spandrel panel, and I'm going to give it maybe some kind of beige color. So double click, select this one and place it in the solid layer. Now delete this one, select this one, hold shift this one, this one, and this one, and this one, all of this, and define them as a block, and let's name it F2. So now I'm going to use to repeat this along all the facade. Select the curtain wall layer. So type linear array. So here we have, so let's see the length of this part. So the length here is around 34 meters. So I need to copy it 34 times. So linear array type 34 from this point to this point. But of course, there are parts need adjustment. So hold shift and select all of this curtain wall and type make unique. You can there's a plugin that make unique, or you can use a create unique command in Rhino 8. So double click to edit it, isolate. We don't need all of this. Only this one, and scale it in one direction to adjust its height. Something like this. Use object again. Also in double click and move this. Select this one. You know what? Do everything. Switch to the wireframe mode. Select this one and move vertical. Move it from here to here. Fill mode. Place this one. Scale in one direction from this point. This point. Oh, press Ctrl Z. This one is a block, so when I edit it, it has been reflected in all of them. So double click again. Delete all of this. Select this one. Scale in one direction. Again, just it to be something like this. Now double click, select this one and type make unique again. Double click, select this one. Use the remaining objects. Double click to edit this. Switch to the wireframe. Select this one. Move vertical. Move it vertically and snap to this point. Now hide everything. Hold Ctrl Shift. Type move vertical. And yeah, here we go. Now we need to make these parts unique too, so select everything. You can hide the curves by the way. Select all this curtain, all these blocks. Type make unique. Double click. Delete this one. Scale in one direction. From here to here. Here, not from here. We can scale it. Restart for example in the direction. Switch to the wireframe. Scale from here. Switch to set view. From here to here. And for this one, type make unique. You know what? Let's save it. Let's double click, Ctrl C. The name of this one is B1 1. So double click and let's replace it. So type replace block instance. Press enter, press S, and we are going to select B1 number 1. Yeah, so creating another unique one. So now that these are going to be the 3 curtain wall blocks that we are going to use, and I'm going to repeat it along the remaining facades. Okay, so I'm going to select this one and let's select the curtain wall layer, hold Alt, move it like this. Rotate and let's come here. Let's move it from the middle here. From this point, type selected, choose linear array. From this point to this, linear array from here, and let's delete all the extra blocks like this. And for this part, I'm going to select this one, select this block, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, choose move from here to here, and it's the same thing here. Double click, select this one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and move it from here. Now select all this. This part is a mirror of it, so again click to view, select all these curtain walls, hold Control to deselect this one, and type mirror, copy S, snap to the midpoint here, or something like this, and click to minimize the view. Let's come here, select this one, hold Alt, copy, rotate it like this, select it, move from the midpoint here. Double click, go to top view, select this one, choose linear array. At this point, press tab to fix movement and come here. Delete this one, and this one. Double click, select one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, choose move, open project, and move it like this. So we have our curtain wall remains the one for this one. So for this one, I'm going to select this one, and hold Alt and create a copy like this. So for this part, I'm going to close the project. Select this from here and place it here, something like this. Yeah, it looks good. This one, by the way, double click, select this mullion, scale in one direction, scale here, and scale it something like this, and save it, select it, and move it something like this. But you know what? No. Okay, so let's start from here. Select this one, linear array from this point, no, not from this point. Select this one, linear array from here to here. delete all the extra. Hold shift and select this one, this one, this one, this one. Select all of this. Let's first remember the notice. This one is F2 number 1, so select all of these and type replace block. Enter S and F1 number 1, and let's move them up by a value of 4 meters. That's perfect. Double click, select this one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, move from the middle here to here, and that's perfect. So delete this one, hold Alt, copy here, rotate it, selected, move it here from the midpoint and to here. Selected, choose linear array from here to here. Delete all these extra blocks. Double click, select this one, Ctrl V, move it by value of 1 meter. And now we only need to create a copy of them. So select all of this, hold Ctrl to deselect this and this, and type mirror, choose copy S, snap to the midpoint here, and hit a copy like this. Select all of this, hold Ctrl, and type mirror. So I know the midpoint is, I think, here, the mirror here. So no, this wasn't the midpoint. But anyway, let's select them and type replace, enter S, F2 number 1, move it up by a value of 4 meter. Why this one is smaller? You know what, delete it anyway. All of this, just move this direction, press tab to fix, move in this direction and move them here. And now double click, select this one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, move it by value 1 meter. And here we go. We have our design. Now we can hide the curves, these curves too, and we can hide also the mass. Okay, we need to close this part. So let's choose the mass again. We need to close this part and of course this part too. Okay, so let's shade in mode. So I'm going to select the facade, let's unlock it, let's select the wall layer. And let's create a 3-point box here. Let's make it the same thickness as this one, which is 0.5. So 3 point. I'm going to hide the curtain walls too, from here to here. You know what? I have an easier way. So let's open the mask layer, select duplicate extract surface, copy S, select this one. Okay, get a copy of it, extract it, place it in the solid wall layer, and extrude it by value of 0.5. Hold Ctrl Shift and move it here by value of 0.52. Now let's hide or lock the mask layer, and let's create a mirror. Copy S and mirror it like this. Hold Ctrl Shift, move, step, and snap it like this. Of course, this block will need some adjustment, and I'm going to add variations, but let's add the variations after adjusting the material. So we have something like this, and let's show the curtain wall layer. Okay, now this looks good. Let's start adjusting the material. Okay, now let's start adjusting the materials, and I'm going to adjust the material by layer. So the first thing I'm going to do is hide the mask layer, and let's come here to the window glass and click on the circle and click on this plus icon and choose custom, and let's name it glass 1. And let's give it maybe some kind of dark blue color, add some transparency, some glossiness, and some reflection, and it's okay. So yeah, this is for the window. And for the curtain wall, let's add also glass material to the curtain wall, but I'm going to select this one and it's okay. So I can come here again and edit it and create unique. Let's name it glass 2. I'm going to give it maybe more darker color and less transparency and less reflection. And it's okay. And for the mullions, I'm going to give it custom material and let's name it mullions 1. And I'm going to give it some kind of bronze or some kind of bronze color like this, and let's add some reflection and some glossiness. Okay, and for the solid part, I'm going to give it the same mullion material. I have something like this, and it's starting to look good. And for the floor, I'm going to give it just a gray color. So name it floor, give it some kind of gray color, and it's okay. By the way, for the mullions, I think I will reduce the reflectivity a little bit and the glossiness too. Okay, now remains the material for the solid walls. Maybe try first giving it a flat color. So let's come here to the solid wall layer, click on the circle and choose, let's name it wall material. I'm going to give it some kind of off-white color. It's okay. Yeah, don't like it. Let's add a texture for it. So I'm going to add, all these textures are downloaded from SketchUp Club. So I'm going to plaster and maybe all the plaster large. Select this all the plaster texture to give it some kind of roughness. And its texture size here, I'm going to use box style, and for the size maybe 3 meter. Before, you know what, 5 meter was good. It's okay. But this I'm going to make it maybe just 50%. And for the color, maybe gray color would be better. Very light gray color. Okay. yeah, this looks good. So, and by the way, so I want to show the ground with more depths. Okay, so this is for the material. Okay, now I will start refining the design and adding some variation. So I will start by switching to the shaded mode. And first one, I think I will increase the length of this flat part to avoid this kind of weird overlap. So I'm going to double click and let's hold Control Shift and select this window and move it here maybe by a value of 0.5. Now hold Control Shift, select this edge and scale it something maybe like this. And then press OK. Switch to the render mode. So yeah, we started avoiding this part. But now I want also to add some variation. So I'm going to maybe selecting some windows. Maybe this one, and this one, this one too, this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and type make unique. Now let's start editing one of them. So double click, shade mode, hold Control Shift, select this, and scale it again. Something like this. Now hold Control Shift, select the window, and maybe moving it something more like this. Press OK, switch to the render mode again. So it is starting to look a little bit more dynamic, but still there's something missing. Switch to the render again. So yeah, okay, I think this window need to move. So double click, hold Control Shift, and move this window maybe something like this. And then save it. Render mode. Yeah, starting to look more dynamic. And maybe start using mirror a little bit. So maybe here and use scale by -1. Move this window, and this one maybe scale by -1 too. Maybe this one scale by -1. This one scale by -1. This one scale by -1. And by the way, for the models, we can also change the profile. So I can double click here, double click to edit this one, switch to the shaded mode. I can hold Control Shift, select this one, and maybe moving it more by a value of 0.4 maybe. Okay. So yeah, it's very large. Let's control Z. Keep it as it was. We can select a few more windows and make them unique and start moving them a little bit. We can also change the size of the window. So maybe I will make this unique. So select this one, and a few more windows. Maybe this one, and maybe this one too. And type make unique. Double click here. Now we can hold Control Shift, select this one, and move it a little bit like this. Hold Control Shift, move this one too. Now hold Control Shift and select the window edge, these edges, and move it by a value of 0.6 maybe. Save it. I have some kind of size variation. So the name of this one F1 number 3. So we can come here, replace center, press S number 3. Maybe replacing this one too. This one I'm going to keep it as it is. Same for this one, I might need to increase the size of it more a little bit. So move this 0.2, hold Control Shift. By the way, we didn't give a material for the window frame. So for the window frame, I'm going to give it, here, let's name it window frame, and let's give it a black color or maybe dark gray, and it's okay. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so you got the idea. We can start selecting some windows, make unique, and start making more and more adjustment. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you later.